Guys, Buddy Corbin, TheRIANetwork.com. I'm here in the studio with Marcus Cutrone. Marcus is going to be teaching. We're very fortunate to have Marcus. He's going to be teaching our RE Real Estate 101 online subgroup. And Marcus, we appreciate you being with us. If could you go into a little detail about yourself and how you began investing and what you're going to be bringing to the folks?
Sure. I'm a longtime real estate investor, and I'm a holder. I've held properties for years. I started investing in 1984.
A little closer to the mic.
I started investing in 1984, and what I found out back then is we're kind of in the same market now. You can still buy a house today for $45,000. The only difference back then, the interest rates were 13%, 13.5%. So today, with the market at 4, 5, and 6%, unbelievable opportunity. And we say the best time in a generation to buy real estate is now. So don't worry about all the people that got stuck. I always say flippers are crying and investors are buying, because the flippers, they were the ones that were trying to get in for the quick profits. And if there's one thing I could tell you, the biggest mistake you could make in investing in real estate is going after short-term profits and canceling out your long-term wealth profits. Meaning, flipping properties, you just keep flipping properties. You never grow any wealth, where if we keep the properties for years, they pay off. And my whole motto is take 10 properties, keep them for 15 years, retire on $10,000 a month. And if you can squeak by on $10,000 a month, then this is a program for you. And most people can squeak by on $10,000 a month.
Excellent, Marcus. Excellent. And Marcus is going to be going over a lot of beginner topics for us. He's going to be going over the things that we need as we're beginning to invest, and all the little things that we may not get just by being out there and doing it. Things that can really shorten our learning curve. So, Marcus, what's your first topic for your first class? Is I see you have it up for us.
Yeah, the first class is Flippers Are Crying, Investors Are Buying. It's the Real Estate 101. I'm going to do 3 consecutive classes. There'll be 101, 102, and 103. Actually, each of them will be something different. This one will all be just on the basics and the wealth principles and why you should buy real estate. And the second one will be on terminologies, things people need to know about mortgages and points and debt income ratios, things like that I think a lot of people forget about. All those are important. I hate to see someone tell me they paid $80 for a house and they sold it for $90 and they made $10,000 when really they made nothing.
Right.
There's $10,000 in cost easy in any house that you're doing a flip on. And that's why I don't like flipping them. If we keep them for the long term, we'll get through a market like today. If you would have bought 3 years ago, if you don't need to sell now, keep it for another 3 to 5 years. You're going to be just fine.
Excellent. Well, Marcus, go ahead and get started, and we'll go from there.
Okay, as I said, this is a part of my Teachings of Profits Real Estate Investment. I'll call it an investment course. And this will be Real Estate 101. And the first thing I would like to say is, how many of you need more money? It seems like everybody needs more money. And we have short-term money and we have long-term money. Short-term money is the money we live on daily. And everybody needs a little more of that, it seems. But what I want to concentrate on is long-term money, stuff for your future. And the reason being is there's a retirement dilemma going on. See, every 6 seconds a person turns 60. That means more people are drawing Social Security every 60 seconds. What that equates to is AARP, or the American Association of Retired People. They have stated that if we don't do something, Social Security will run out of money in year 2029. Well, that's not that far from now. And if you start drawing money now, you might be okay. But if you're 40 years old, you might be in trouble. You might not see much money. And we have to decide what we want to do. Where do you want to be when you retire? Because today, only about 3% of the Americans are retiring financially independent. What does that mean? That means they don't have to live on their kids. That means they don't have to worry about any kind of pensions. What they're doing is living on investments that they made. Well, 3%, well, that's not too many people when you think about it, 3%. What we want to do, though, is we want to find out what those 3% do and do what they do. No use finding out what the other 97% do. They're doing it wrong. So what I did was I went out and we kind of did a study, and we said, what does it take to be financially independent? Well, first of all, you have to spend less than you earn and save 10%. So there's 2 parts there. Spending less than you earn, that's huge in itself. You know, the average 25-year-old spends 105% of their income.
Wow.
That means they're always playing catch up because they think they're going to get a raise, they think they're going to get a second job, and that's good. They probably will, but they're always playing catch up, so they're digging a hole right out of the start, and that's not the way to start. And the other thing is to save 10%, and I'm sure you've seen this in many books. If you're making $60,000 a year, you should be saving $6,000 and putting it away. Then sooner or later, you're going to have enough money to do an investment. In real estate, if you had $6,000, you can easily put a down payment on a house and start investing right in that first year. So spend less than you earn and save 10%. The second thing is take that money that you're saving and invest in appreciating assets. That doesn't mean a boat. That doesn't mean a sports car. It doesn't mean a Hummer. It doesn't mean a four-wheeler. It means something in usually real estate. I mean, many of us are licking our wounds from the stock market, still. I mean, the market has just been crazy. A year ago it was, and I hate to date this, but a year ago it was at 11,500. 6 months ago it was at 6,500, and today we're back up to 9,500. I mean, how can you base your whole future on something like that keeps going up and down like a roller coaster? Now, real estate, if you would have bought it a couple of years ago, you'd still be sitting well. I mean, people say, I sold a property to a tenant. Now, I paid $60,000 for it years back. It had gone up to $155,000.
Wow.
Well, now it went down to $90,000. Okay, so I paid $60,000 and I sold it for $90,000. I'm still not hurting, let alone the debt that I paid off during those years. I only owe $30,000 on it.
Right.
So I'm going to walk out of that with a nice check no matter what, and I can't see anything I could have invested in that would have given me that same return. So we must invest in appreciating assets. And the last thing, and one of the most important, is we need to make decisions and capture opportunities. I always like to ask, how many of you ever missed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? How about 2 or 3?
Right.
We've all missed 2 or 3 once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, what only shows me that there's more than like once. These opportunities keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. It's just your delay in making the decision to act on it. How many times do you sit there and go, man, should I buy this house? Shouldn't I buy this house? Is it a good deal? And then somebody cuts in front of you and buys it. Because they can make a decision. They can go in there. I'm not saying make foolish decisions and buy right away, but we're going to show ways where you can lock up a property right now with a deposit and then put in clauses that you can get out of that so that you can do your due diligence and check for your termite and check for your building codes and make sure that the septic tank works. Can't tell you how many times, and someone asked me, have you ever lost money in real estate? Yes. I'll be the first to say it, yes. And the guy that says he has never lost money in real estate, that's a real estate investor, he hasn't been an investor long enough. Because sooner or later, the bear's going to get you, as they say. Yep. You'll get the bear, but someday the bear's going to get you. And you just have to have the wherewithal to get through it. And hopefully it's not one of those huge things.
Right.
How many people thought that these pre-construction condos in Florida were going to be the opportunity of a lifetime, and all of a sudden they signed a contract for $500,000, and now it's only worth $3 million. It was just a bad decision. They got in at the wrong time. There were people that bought them for $250,000, and they did go up to $800,000.
Right.
So it just depended. The timing is just a huge factor in what we're doing when we make these decisions. So today what I'm going to learn, or what you're going to learn, is that real estate is the ideal investment. I'm going to show you why that is, and I'm going to show you the wealth principles that real estate has that other investments do not. I'm also going to show you how to get some financing, or where to get financing, because that seems to be the biggest problem. People go, I'd love to buy real estate, but I don't have any money. Well, we can get around that with some low money down. We can show you how to finance properties, get your money back, and we can show you how to partner up with other people till you get enough money of your own.
You have just watched a preview of one of our many online subgroups. Do you have questions about real estate investing and strategies? The RIA Network hosts a variety of topics and continues to add and update on a monthly basis. You can gain knowledge and get the answers you need for a membership of only $19.95 a month. Your membership will gain you access to skilled professionals that share their experience and knowledge through subgroups, forums, and an online bookstore with digital downloads under $10. For an overview of our services, including how you can make money for yourself, your local RIA, or both, go to www.therianetwork.com.